Hello there, welcome to the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations, diplomatic affairs. My name is Harriet Nartey. The show comes off every Saturday between the hours of 4:20 to 5:20 p.m. on Pan-African television. We are also global via Facebook and YouTube, so wherever you find yourself, you can always access this platform. I will take a break. When I come back, I'll bring you all the updates. Welcome back. Now let's begin by bringing you our coverage when the foreign minister for Belgium came to Ghana on the back of the elections. We had the opportunity to engage him exclusively to speak about relations between Belgium and also by extension the European Union and the Republic of Ghana. Belgium's Foreign Affairs Minister for Trade and Development Cooperation, Bernard Quintin, has said that his government is committed to enhancing bilateral relations with Ghana. The minister, in an exclusive interview with Diplomatic Affairs TV, stated that his government and, of course, by extension, the European Union will continue to deepen relations between the two countries. Today we find ourselves at the residence of the European Union ambassador to Ghana, who is a very good friend of ours, His Excellency Ichad Ramiandra Sarazali. And we are here to meet with Excellency Bernard Quintin, Belgium's Minister for Foreign Affairs, European Affairs, Foreign Trade and Federal Cultural Institutions. It is such a pleasure to have him join us briefly. Excellency, welcome to Ghana.
Thank you very much.
I hope you're enjoying yourself here.
I'm enjoying myself a lot.
Thank you so much. Now, I have two questions. One will be the European Union's commitment when it comes to EU-Ghana partnerships. What are we to expect in the coming days? We know that the European Union has a solid foundation in terms of relationship with Ghana and, of course, the sub-region. So what are we to expect in the coming days?
Well, actually, it's maybe a lack of modesty, but I think that my mere presence as Belgian Foreign Affairs Minister and also on behalf of the High Representative of the European Union, Kaja Kallas, is a sign of the strong partnership that the EU and its member states have with and enjoy with Ghana. We are busy in a lot of areas. We're busy in trade. We are busy in more general in economic development. We are also busy in health system with a very good and important project under Global Gateway couple on vaccines. We are the first partner in security, and we know that it is a very important point for Ghana, but not only for Ghana, but for all the region. And we know that Ghana is a leader in this region for what's security, but also a lot of other matters. Sorry. So that's the area, and the other ones where we are going to, let's say, invest. And speaking of investment, I mean, I heard President Mahama speech speaking of accountability and let's say business-minded atmosphere. It is very important and it is very promising.
Thank you. That is indeed very promising. Now, before I let go of you, I'm just curious. Are we to expect Belgian embassy here in Ghana anytime soon?
The closest is in Abidjan, actually.
Abidjan.
In Abidjan, where our ambassador is in Abidjan is also accredited to Ghana. I would like to say yes, it will be the easiest. I would like to say yes, of course, we will see. But I have to be honest with you. The budgetary situation of Belgium is not easy. We have to make cuts in a lot of domains, and we also have to, at the same time, invest more ourselves in our defense to reach the 2% that we are supposed to have on our 2% of the GDP, not of the budget, 2% of the GDP. It's very different. It's almost 8% of the budget that we have to give to defense. So I'm honest with you. I would like, as minister, to do it. If I have the possibility to open 2 or 3 embassies, Ghana will certainly be considered. But for the time being, I have to say that my excellent ambassador in Abidjan will still going to do the work.
Excellency, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate this moment with you. So that was the Minister for Belgium, His Excellency Bernard Quintin. He spoke about a lot of things when it comes to the European Union's relationship with Ghana, the sub-region, and the entire African continent. And he also talked about the accountability issue, which the president spoke about at his inauguration. In the coming days, we'll be engaging the European Union ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Ichad Ramiandra Sarazali, and we will be talking more. We'll have an in-depth conversation about EU-Ghana relations. Where are we going? There has been a whole new process. There is a new precedent in place. We want to know if we are still keeping almost all the programs that the European Union has with Ghana, or if, based on the changes, anything is going to change in that process when it comes to EU-Ghana relationship. My name is Harriet Nartey, and I'll see you in the studio. Well, still on the European Union, let's talk about a new initiative that has been launched by the European Union here in Ghana. This is not the only place that this initiative exists. This actually exists at the global level. So it is a replica of what happens at the international stage over here in Ghana. The European Union and the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands in Ghana have launched the inaugural cohort of the Team Europe's Youth Sounding Board, Ghana. This initiative is aimed at empowering young change makers to play a crucial role in influencing policies and programs that affect their lives and communities. The Youth Sounding Board is a global European initiative aligned with the EU's commitment to youth empowerment. Let's take you to the residence of the European Union here in Ghana.
This is the formal launch of a call for application for the youth of this country to join what we call the Youth Sounding Board. The Youth Sounding Board. This is one of the latest and most exciting and innovative platforms that have been put forward by the European Union, joined by our member states, in that case Netherlands, which is designed by the European Union to ensure that the youth of Ghana has a voice and that this voice is being acted upon in the design, the content, the implementation, and even the monitoring of the European Union funded projects conducted in Ghana. So, creating this space to have the youth contributing to our programs, because your voice is important for us to design those projects, to understand better the way to go for job creation, to support investment, to support education, training, so on and so forth. Your voice is important as well, because you represent 75% of the population of this country, and by definition you are target and the main beneficiary of our undertaking and projects. So it's very fair and very important that we get your views, we get your advice, you get your expectations, and we get your contribution.
If we want the youth to benefit from policies, we need to move faster than we do now. We need to adapt policies so that they benefit young people much better. And we're not good at that because we are slow moving. So we need to be pushed and be advised and be guided. And why do we need that guidance? Because the tortoise is led by old men like me. So I don't know what the youth needs. I don't know what the youth needs in the Netherlands. I don't know what the youth needs in Ghana. So I need to be advised and guided and helped. And we, together with the European Union, can be very complementary.
Hello there, welcome to Diplomatic Affairs. Briefly, I'll be speaking to the Dutch ambassador to Ghana. It's all about the Youth Sounding Board initiative. This is being done with the European Union in partnership with the Dutch embassy also, and we would like to know the role the embassy of the Netherlands plays when it comes to this particular initiative. Anything around youth excites us because we would like to know some of the initiatives that are being introduced in order to empower and uplift the youth. In this case, this won't be the first time that the European Union, together with the Netherlands government or the Dutch government, are actually doing something around the youth, empowering them, and of course creating opportunities and an enabling environment for them to thrive and contribute to the growth of the country. Excellency, welcome to Diplomatic Affairs.
Thank you, Harriet. It's a pleasure to be here.
I want to find out, when we talk about the Youth Sounding Board, briefly, just so anybody can relate to what exactly this seeks to achieve, what are we talking about?
We're talking about a group of 25 young people that we are now calling for young people to apply for that position. So we have 25 positions in a sort of an advisory board to both the European Union delegation in Ghana and to the Netherlands embassy in Ghana. And also with links to youth sounding boards in Brussels, the headquarters of the European Union, and in The Hague, the headquarters of the Netherlands government. So we are looking for young people that can advise us on improving our policies so that there are better outcomes for young people.
Which areas are we focusing on particularly when it comes to Ghana? I'm sure you have done your survey and you are applying this in a way that it can solve some problems when it comes to Ghana. So which areas are we focusing on?
For the Netherlands embassy, we're mainly focusing on the agricultural sector, because still we see that Ghana is importing a lot of agricultural products from Europe, but also from Sahel countries, from neighboring countries like Togo. So agricultural production is more efficient and better there than it is being done in Ghana. And we see so much unemployment in Ghana, so why is there not an efficient agricultural sector in Ghana? So we're working on that in terms of horticulture and also in cocoa. Those are the two sectors that we are focusing on. And what we would like to achieve is that there are more opportunities for young people to get along in those two sectors.
Excellency, thank you so much for talking to us, and we will be following this particular initiative to find out how this goes in terms of empowering the youth and also taking up responsibilities in our society. Agriculture has only 5% of people who usually do or pay attention to this particular area, and like you said, we've been doing a lot of products from the Europe, let me put it that way, right? And it's going to be good for us as a country if we could begin to. But when it comes to the technicalities, do we have experts who will be bringing the expertise to board to empower people and make that sector even more attractive?
Yeah. Well, let me say one thing, that the Netherlands is a small country. We have about 17 million inhabitants, so about half of what Ghana has. But we have also a very small part of the population that works in agriculture. Less than 1% of our population works in agriculture. But if you look at the value of the agricultural production, that is enormous. Last year we exported for an amount of 130 billion euros of agricultural goods and services.
That must contribute so much to the GDP, right?
Yeah, that's a huge contribution to the GDP, because if you compare that to Ghana's GDP is about 80 billion euros. So we exported 50 billion euros more in agricultural goods and services. And that is because we have a highly technological, advanced and very proficient and efficient agricultural sector. So that is what we want to share with Ghana, that we can use some of these technologies in order to improve agricultural production and contribute to economic growth in Ghana.
I'm so grateful. Thanks so much for speaking to us.
My pleasure.
I'm told told that there are a number of people who actually came together to share ideas after doing their homework to identify the areas that Ghanaian youth should actually be led into or encouraged to pay attention to. And I'm sure this is part of a bigger solution to the problem. Agriculture is one of the areas that the youth don't really pay attention to when it comes to the various sectors of the economy. When I spoke with the Dutch ambassador to Ghana, he told me that this is one area that the embassy of the Netherlands is very much focused on. And I believe there are so many other areas that we are yet to discover. On the show today, as we are coming to you from the residence of the European Union, head of the EU delegation to Ghana, His Excellency Ichad Ramiandra Surazali, it's the opening of the Youth Sounding Board. And I'm curious because I want to know, if you're watching me from home, I'm sure you would like to know what exactly is the Youth Sounding Board. What is this initiative about? I have Emmanuel Odonko, and Emmanuel Odonko is a consultant youth development strategy. Obviously, he contributed highly to putting this initiative together. Emmanuel, could you please join me? I'm excited. I have this information here, consultant youth development strategy. How interesting this is to know that you contributed to developing this particular strategic plan, if I can put it that way, which is to serve as a springboard sort of when it comes to the youth of this country. I want to know more about it. Now, school us, what is this about? Let's speak in plain terms so that the people watching us at home can also relate and appreciate this initiative.
Thank you. Thank you very much once again for having me. This initiative actually sprang from an idea of the fact that the EU said they wanted to position themselves in the country to be more youth-centric, to be more youth-friendly, and also to see how best they could bridge some of the gaps, the gaps and challenges affecting young people in the country. So I think we had to come together. Some of us have to come together and, offer some solutions to some of these challenges which is being faced by young people majorly in the country. So one of them has to do with the Youth Sounding Board, forming or replicating, if I should put it, because the Youth Sounding Board is already in existence in Europe at the
global level, right?
Level, exactly. So EU was like, can we have something similar here? And then we're like, yes, it won't be bad. So we proposed that in the document. That's the National Youth Strategy of the European Union delegation in Ghana. That document is from 2021 to 2027. So we are still living in that document. However, there were, I wouldn't say even though I contributed, I helped guide to bring that document to life. Through stakeholder consultations with youth organizations across the length and breadth of the country. So we met with representatives of youth organizations in 2023 across the country. And so we divided the country into 3 zones: the northern zone, the middle belt, and then the southern belt. And then we met with youth organizations leads that get to know what they are doing, and then we also let them understand that this is the EU, this is our mission, this is our vision with young people. How do you think we can represent your interest effectively in a way that will make you thrive in whatever that you are doing? And they looked at some of the recommendations we had on the document, and then they also shared their ideas. So for example, this board or this Youth Sounding Board is going to be a group of young people that would advise the EU on youth engagement, that would advise the EU on collaboration, that would advise the EU on networking, and how our interests as young people would be or are going to be met. So that's what they did. They proffered some solutions. They tweaked. They also amended some of the strategies that were in there. Obviously, it's not only the Youth Sounding Board in that document. We have a lot of other initiatives that will be rolled out. We are looking at people within the TVET sector. We are also looking at people within, the influential level sector. So we have our vloggers, our bloggers. We have, people within the art sector too as well. So it is a robust document that seeks to have everybody's interest, considered in that document. So basically, this is to let people understand that we'll have, and it's only going to have fairly regional representations. We have 16 regions. So at the global level, we have 25 young people who advises the EU at a global level on youth engagement and involvement. So if you are going to have something similar here, maybe our own is not going to be 25. Our own is probably going to be lesser or more, considering our demographic dividends in terms of youth population and how we feel that we need that number of representation to advise the EU on the way forward. And I think the EU is also positioned in a way to also receive recommendations. I mean, the document is there, all right, but it's still open, and it's not a dead-end document. It's still open for recommendation. So at the end of the day, as time goes on, there are new initiatives, trends, changes. We look at how to amend and then reflect on that. Yeah.
Right now, Emmanuel, this is very, very interesting. For me, I like to be very practical when it comes to speaking to some of these issues. I like the fact that you are targeting, or the European Union, together with the Dutch embassy, they are targeting the youth. And I like that move first and foremost, because there are so many people out there, young folks out there, who do not even know what to do after school. Those who do not have education are just, stuck, and they don't know where to channel that energy and which basic skill should be their focus. And so it becomes a problem for us as a country. We are wasting so many of the youth, if I can put it that way, or if I can say so. And I think this is one of the initiatives that should be embraced and welcomed, and even it should have the support and interest of the local government. So I think this is great when it comes to this particular initiative. Now, let me ask you the areas. When I was speaking with the Dutch ambassador, he mentioned that their focus is on agriculture. And I've always known that the Embassy of Dutch or the Netherlands is always interested in agriculture, livestock and all of that, produce and all of that. So I want to find out from you, beyond the agriculture focus, what are some of the sectors that we are looking at? Because you mentioned TVET, technical and vocational skills. This is broad. Which other areas are we considering, and how beneficial is this going to be for us practically as a nation?
Okay. So yes, you hit the nail right on the spot and on it, in the sense that it's not only focusing on a particular sector, a particular area. We're also not focusing on those in school. We are also looking at those who are out of school, because with the youth sounding board, we are looking at it from an angle where we are going to have quite a fair representation on the demographic dividend, like I said initially. So, we are going to look at a minimum qualification, which most of the young people in the country have that qualification. For example, we have most of the people having senior high school qualifications. And if you have to bet it down a bit, we'll have much of our young people also having basic, qualification in terms of BEC, if I should put it that way. So in terms of this, we are also looking at it from an angle where everybody's area or special area of focus and expertise will also be embraced. So aside agric, that's the ambassador rightfully said initially, we are looking at TVET, which I already initially said, and then we're also looking at opportunities with those who are within the tertiary level and from the senior high school level. And we're looking at it using flagship programs like the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. That also comes in a long way to also ensure that, we realize the potentials of young people at a very infant level. So why don't we take advantage of the position young people find themselves in to support them, actually? So we are looking at how we could support, young people's, ambitions through schooling, where we intend to make sure that we are going to provide them the needed and requisite, support to thrive in school, to become and also contribute meaningfully to development in the country. That's from that angle to as well.
All right. How can one apply?
The application is open. The application is open. So areas to look out for in these times is through the social media platforms of the European Union delegations here in Ghana, and also the official website of the European Union delegation in Ghana. So the link will be shared on these platforms, and young people will have the take needed advantage to be able to, tap into this opportunity. So if you have access to smartphone or you have access to an internet anywhere you are across this country, you have the opportunity to apply. It's not just for a special sect of people, it's for every young Ghanaian who qualifies.
It's for every young Ghanaian who qualifies. But how do we get the locals at the bottom? If somebody has something special and they are not in any of the urban cities, and they find themselves in the rural parts of the country, because I'm looking at how we can localize this message. How do we do that?
Yes. So already that is we have a structure in place at the European Union delegation. So to begin with, I made mention that we had stakeholder engagement workshops engaging with youth representatives, youth CSOs, youth NGOs representatives whose members are in most places or certain instances are in hard to reach areas that the EU cannot reach sometimes. So we already have a pool of these contacts, of these organizations. Before, aside sharing these opportunities on our website and our social media platforms, we also intend to share it with them. So also share it with their networks. That way we get a pool of interested individuals across the country. So that's also an add-on or an area that we are looking at, because we intend to employ this opportunity through our networks with the youth organizations that we met from the very basic onset of this initiative.
All right. Emmanuel, thank you so much for speaking to us. And I'm super excited about the fact that we will be reaching out to everyone who falls within the category of youth and have them to at least explore this opportunity. Thank you very much for joining us briefly. The European Union is very big on the youth when it comes to what should be done for the youth to be able to also contribute to the country. By doing so, they create employment, they create jobs, they harvest all the sectors together and bring them on board so they can also have a purposeful life. I'm going to be speaking to a lady who has actually done so much at the global level. And she's here with us, joining us because today is a very special day. She is a member of the Global EU Youth Sounding Board. Yes, so we mentioned just when I spoke with the head of the EU delegation to Ghana, he mentioned that there is the Global EU Youth Sounding Board somewhere in Brussels. So she flew in all the way from Brussels to join us here in Ghana. I have Dr. Chiaki Otute, and I want to find out from her. Doc, welcome to Diplomatic Affairs.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
We are happy to have you here. I love this energy. It's very contagious. All right, now let's get talking. When it comes to the youth, I know how passionate the European Union is when it comes to the youth. Really, I am very much interested in anything that contributes to the growth of the youth. Let's talk about the Global EU Youth Sounding Board before we even come to what is being replicated here today. What is this all about?
So basically, the Global Youth Sounding Board is about one word: listening. So it's an initiative by the past European Union Commissioner for International Partnerships, Madam Jutta Opilainen, to listen to the voices of young people in the partner countries of the EU, and then to get our opinions on what we think should be done and how we think things should be done on issues relating and that matter to young people.
Issues that matter to young people. So basically, if I am consuming this information right, what it means is that you are actually taking information or gathering or collecting information from the youth. You want to know what their concerns are, what their challenges are, and what can be done in solving the problems or the challenges that they are faced with. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. And for our cohorts, we actually even decided to go a step beyond what you have just said and to bring to the table our inputs on matters that do not directly affect the youth, but then we also have opinions on, because most of us are experts. I mean, I'm young, but I'm a doctor, so when it comes to...
You've been on the ground for a while.
So we might have ideas on things that might not necessarily be youth problems, but we would also be able to contribute to them. So it's the problems of the youth and what we also think should be done about the general issues of the world.
Can I say this is a brilliant way of empowering the youth as future leaders of tomorrow?
My goodness, you're so smart. Exactly. Exactly. It's a way of empowering us and also harvesting the unique gifts and ideas and resources that we have. So we are enabling ourselves to be used to actually improve and better the development of the world we find ourselves in.
What are you looking forward to?
So, with the Global Youth Sounding Board, our mission has really been achieved. We have been listened to, and I hope to see that here. Currently, our EU ambassador is the listening type, and I hope that continues, even if he has to hand over. I hope that it doesn't become just tokenism in the sense that it's done and then nobody really listens to the young people, because I know a lot of brilliant Ghanaians are going to be selected, and there's this tendency to feel fatigued if our brilliance and our intelligence is not being used. So I hope that even as the cohort is being gathered, they are going to listen to them and they are going to actually implement or even give us the ability to implement the ideas that we might have and involve us in a lot of different areas. And I believe that it will be beneficial for both young people and for our development partners.
Dr. Chiaki Otute, thank you so much for speaking to us. So we've been talking about the Youth Sounding Board. It is a very exciting news for us to share with you. As usual, when it comes to EU-Ghana partnerships, you know that the EU is very keen when it comes to the youth, empowering the youth and creating an enabling environment for them to thrive. So this is one of such initiatives that is here to actually stay and ensure that the youth are empowered enough to contribute to the development of our country. We couldn't have actually spoken to all the stakeholders without speaking to the head of the EU delegation here in Ghana, and we would like to briefly find out. It is the launch, like I said, the opening of this initiative, and the coming days we are going to be on the ground just to learn more about it and get practical with this launch, this initiative. Excellency, welcome to Diplomatic Affairs once again.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Everybody is here, from the media, you have all the stakeholders here. The Dutch ambassador, whom I engaged briefly, tells me that he is very much focused on agriculture. But before we even delve into the broad area when it comes to this initiative, can we just get very practical about this initiative? What is this all about?
What is it about? This is a very, very valid question. This is the launch of the call for application, so we are expecting young Ghanaian talents to apply to be eventually member of a board, a committee made of 25 persons between 18 and 32 to help us, to advise us, to give us their views on our ongoing project and our future project. Why is that? We are not hiring 25 people. We are listening to their advices because they have a better understanding what are the expectations, the wishes, the dreams, the hurdles, the circumstances of the youth in the country, and for us to design and align better our projects in order, maybe we can miss something, maybe we can be totally wrong, and in job creation, pushing something which makes absolutely no sense on the ground because there is something we totally ignored. And this is the type of things we need, their expertise, their views. And beyond that, 75% of the population is made of youth. So they are best placed to tell what is topical, what is a priority, what is a lesser priority, so on and so forth. So this is a way, if I sum it up, to make their voice heard, to make their voice valued, to make the voice acted upon. This is an issue of inclusivity, this is an issue of fairness, and this is an issue as well for us of performance, in order to have the programs hitting the nail better than without consulting this constituency, I would say.
How do we identify them?
They identify themselves, and then we gather the applications and there will be a selecting committee, so on and so on. So 25 of them will be undergoing this incredible journey. Incredible for us because we are eager to listen, eager to interact, eager to get their views. This is something that has been launched at global level, And now we are launching it at local level to be closer to the grassroots.
My last question will be, what will be the impact of this initiative?
No, it's an issue of making our project more effective, to having a better connection with the ones for whom this project matters most. We are speaking about training, education, job creation, agriculture, security, fight against corruption, cocoa, whatever. This is about the life of the people. Remember what we have said last year. We want to be people-centered. So if you have this people-centered approach, the core of the core of the core, given the demography, is the youth. So you cannot be closer.
So you are empowering the youth to be able to take on the challenges of the country and even beyond the country at the global level.
Exactly. Precisely.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
speaking to us. Okay, so today I'm wrapping up with the European Union, head of the EU delegation to Ghana. It appears the European Union is looking at ways of sharing ideas, taking information, collecting information, especially when it comes to youth policies. What they want to do is to be youth-centered. They want to involve the youth. They want to bring the youth to the table. They want to empower them as the future leaders for tomorrow. And so this approach is one of the approaches that they have adopted to get the youth to the table, give them a seat so they can also share their ideas. By doing so, they actually are able to tell what the challenges are, what the impediments are, what the hurdles are, and how can we collectively actually put this or consider this in our policies so that you can also benefit when it comes to government and then EU relations, or Ghana and then European Union relations. So the EU is being very deliberate. And of course, this is the kind of partnership that we need in order to advance to the next stage when it comes to our aspirations as a country. Ichad, do you have anything you want to say? It seems like you are doing the work with me today.
No, yes, this is a shared undertaking, because we believe in the reach of this program, and we want the youth, as you said, to have this seat at the table. I think this is a good image. The youth deserve that their voice is heard. They deserve a seat at the table, and we will collectively benefit out of it. Miss less opportunity, be more topical, straight to the point, more effective, bigger impact. Everybody's happy.
You want to wrap up for me?
So this was a special assignment shared by the European Union and Diplomatic Affairs. Madame Harriet, straight from the EU residence to the world, to Ghana, to the youth of Ghana.
Thank you very much. I think you want to take my job from me, but you can't be here again because otherwise I might get fired and you will be employed. My name is Harriet Nartey, and
Irshad Razali.
all right, see you next time. While still on fostering relations between countries, let's shift our attention to Brazil and Ghana. The 4th Brazil-Ghana Business Forum has been held here in Ghana. Now, the 4th Brazil-Ghana Business Forum has been held with the aim of promoting trade and investments between the two countries. The initiative also sought to deepen bilateral relations between the two countries for the benefit of their citizens, brought together business owners and companies from the two countries from different areas. Ambassador of the Republic of Brazil to Ghana, Mariana Madeira, in her remarks said the forum marked the retake of Brazil-Ghana relations, and it was time the two countries took advantage of their common past and strong identity to create mutual benefits. The ambassador also urged Brazilians to consider Ghana as an essential commercial springboard under the African Continental Free Trade Area.
We can look at Ghana as an easier partner for a number of reasons. Ghana is a small and safe country with a lot of influence and dynamic economy. Our bilateral trade has great potential for growth and diversification. In 2024, bilateral trade reached $763 million with a surplus of around $90 million for Ghana. Brazil exports food items such as sugar and animal products, and machines, whereas Ghana exports oil, minerals, precious metals, and cocoa paste to Brazil. As we continue strengthening our business and trade relationship, I urge Brazilians to view Ghana as an essential commercial springboard under the African Continental Free Trade Area. The AFCFTA is an important reality to bear in mind. It is the most strategic project under the Agenda 2063 of the African Union. Ghana offers investment opportunities in several sectors, including but not limited to agribusiness, manufacturing, healthcare, textiles, education, and construction. Among these, agribusiness shows the greatest potential. Ghana's abundant resources, such as cocoa and tropical fruits, combined with Brazil's expertise in processing and marketing, can pave the way for the creation of products for global markets.
Ghana and Brazil shares a deep-rooted partnership based on mutual respect and shared development goals. Brazil's global leadership in agriculture and Ghana's strategic positioning as the gateway to West Africa create an immense opportunity for collaboration in agribusiness, manufacturing, technology, healthcare, renewable energy, and infrastructure, which are all areas which collaboration with Brazil investors and businesses can thrive. We at GIPC are committed to creating a conducive environment and facilitating strategic partnership that offers a wealth of opportunity in key sectors. Ghana has a place of a wide range of business-friendly policies. These include tax waivers, streamlined registration processes, public-private partnerships initiatives to attract investments. Renowned for our political stability and peaceful elections, the country continues to inspire investors, the confidence, and to inspire investor confidence, and also to uphold the initiatives that our current regime brings to bear. Brazilian investments in Ghana have had significant effects on the Ghanaian economy. Our mission at GIPC is to position Ghana as the most preferred investment destination in Africa by providing an end-to-end support for investors. In the light of this, we are keen to collaborate with Apex Brazil and other stakeholders to promote partnerships that align with Ghana's industrialization agenda and Brazil's global ambition.
Move on to Ghana and Norway. There are so many initiatives that are organized or introduced on a daily basis to enhance relations between countries. One of them is culture. Cultural diplomacy is one of the approaches adopted by countries and organizations to deepen their relationship at the bilateral and multilateral levels. Infinity Events, Jonas, in collaboration with the Ghana Folklore Board, has launched the Ghana-Norway Cultural Exchange Program. The event, themed Bridging Culture Through Music and Dance, is aimed at promoting Ghanaian culture and attracting Norwegian investors into the country. Minister for Tourism, Arts, Culture and Creative Arts, Honorable Ablan Jifa Gomashi, in her address underscored the importance of projecting Ghanaian heritage outside the borders of the country to preserve and also sell the country at the global front.
Shared beliefs, customs, traditions, values, and all of our people. This project is not a showcase of artistic and cultural expressions. It is indeed a platform for breaking differences and barriers, fostering mutual understanding, strengthening partnerships, and opening doors for meaningful collaborations between Ghana and Norway. The beauty and essence of this project is that it serves as a bridge that connects our two nations, allowing us to learn and share with each other while celebrating our uniqueness. Our culture is more than entertainment. It is an instrument of diplomacy, development, and unity. It is a powerful connecting tool for development, bridging gaps between communities, nations, and generations by breaking barriers, dispelling misconceptions, and creating opportunities for dialogue. By embracing and celebrating our diverse cultural heritage, we can foster greater understanding, tolerance, and cooperation. This initiative, therefore, presents an incredible opportunity for cultural exchange, education, and expression of Ghanaian, Norwegian artists, performers, and academics. It also potentially provides cultural institutions the opportunity for collaboration, knowledge sharing, and aspirations for new creative possibilities that promote social cohesion, economic growth, and sustainable development.
Our motive as National Folklore Board is one of our mandates. We've been mandated by the Copyright Act 2005 to preserve, promote, and safeguard our intangible cultural heritage in Ghana. And preserving something and then safeguarding, there's a need for the people who are in the industry also should be to benefit from what they do. And so our intention is to create a platform for them, so that when you create this platform, it give them a kind of energy so that they continue to practice the art. Otherwise, if you leave it without creating a platform for them, as time goes on, we'll lose most of what we have. We have created a lot of local platform, like the World Folklore Day. We organize a lot of them, showcase what we have as Ghanaians. We invite other African countries to come and appreciate what we have, but we cannot continue to market what we have locally. So we decided to collaborate with other countries. We've done 2014, we collaborated with an organization in Switzerland, and High Life Music and Dance originated from Ghana. So in order to make the world known that, yes, indeed, High Life originated from Ghana, we took this music to Switzerland. And that has given them a bigger platform to perform. And so this new collaboration in 2025 is also to do similar, create a platform for them, organize capacity building for them, to learn how to do good packaging, marketing strategies, so that they continue to market what we have, they package it well, and they can be appealing to the international community, so that these industry players benefit economically from what they are doing, and also in turn employ other people into the industry, and it's a means of creating a job for the indigenous or the community people who have these cultural heritage located in their region.
We are looking at projecting our cultures outside the borders of the country. Now, what are we doing to maintain our culture in our country, especially in our schools?
It's National Folklore Board. We are very focused, and we have the passion to do what we have been mandated to do. We have established folklore clubs in schools, and these schools, the children are ranging between 5 to 14 years. And so we visit the school to teach them. Even we teach them about our symbols from the various regions. You have that one, Gasamai, which is from Greater Accra. You have Vejesi, which is from the Volta region. And then we have the Adinkra symbol, which is from the Kan community. And so we teach them different things about our culture, so that when they move from 5 to 14 to the next stage, they will appreciate our culture. So we are doing a lot. Apart from that, going to the schools, we also organize fun day for them, and we bring them to a place, and we ask each school to perform for the other school to appreciate. And so what you learn during the folklore club, come and showcase to your other folklore clubs to also appreciate. So we put different measures and programs, activities in place so that we can cover the whole country, but we are moving gradually. And then we just have to appeal to other communities, the media, those who are into the culture space, to continue to do their bit in their little way, and also families. The speaking of the local language starts from when you start breastfeeding your baby, and when you start from that stage, gradually before the child come to school and we take over, the child is holistic. And so this is what we are doing as National Folklore Board.
Infinite Events is a company that is registered in Norway, that was established in 2020 with the main idea, or the main objective, is to showcase Africa as a whole. But what do we showcase about Africa? We decided to specialize in music and dance. So that's the part of culture that we are marketing about Africa.
So why Ghana?
Actually, we are not restricted to Ghana, but this is our first point. We have started with Ghana, but the main objective is to market Africa as a whole. Because with Infinite Events, we're a group of people that comprise of people from Ghana, Eritrea, DRC, and Zimbabwe. So as a group, we decided first, this is our first point. Then after that, we do Zimbabwe, we do the whole of Africa. By the time we reach November, we think it will be a great a great lesson that we are going to learn, so that it will be easy for us to implement in other African countries. Not only should we say Ghana has the exclusive, but Ghana was the first country to get independence with democracy, so it has spearheaded a lot of things. And the fact that most of the other countries like Zimbabwe, we are landlocked. Our culture is a bit different as compared to Ghana. So we decided to take a country that is more rich in culture, and then it will be easy to do in other countries.
As a culture anything. Culture ne se because I can. Aduane a yedie. Yasa. Yantuma ifura. Ye ne ye bia no. Yesu eye amamre. Na mahunu se eniama ketenkete bi won ma ye yama na chia. Enti se ya free sabri ya ntete ya wo ye ma ye nananom. Ene ye ho amfa ama ye kasa ene ya mamre ho ahian ya. Ebeduru baabi no na sabio ya yera. Se ubi se obi ase ndi se friend Patricia. Akabro fo fefe so ye friend adwa pokua. Edin a de pa nso ye nye biem. Ye kwa amanone a ye ne ye nananom ne ye ma ye wo mo nyina no yenso so sabi yakotena bruni krom nti ye bruni kasa na kasa kire mre nyina mu se ya free sabri an kire ye ma na ye nananom sa ye kasa ya ebede no mo ba ha motimi no mo nananom kasa na ya rehu mpa de ene se ye ti sabi krom asei ewi akete kra na ma me kambrofo kire ne ba de ba kire pa na sabi ye kire ye manom ne ye nananom nti mesere se mama yema yakasa hu hia ye mama ya mamre ne amane hu hia ye na yintimem na na di senia da chi bia no ye nananom no ye manom so o ma anyira na mahu ba bi ogun free.
We are wrapping up with the celebration of India's National Day, which happened here in Ghana. This is something that happens all over the world. Wherever India has its mission, this is celebrated when it comes to putting India out there, especially projecting the culture and, of course, what India stands for, its values as well. National days are very significant on the diplomatic calendar. And, of course, in this moment, it also affords missions the opportunity to also take stock. Now, the Republic of India has observed its 76th National Day with a recommitment of increased bilateral ties with Ghana. The High Commissioner of India to Ghana, Manish Gupta, in his remarks underscored the importance of continued cooperation between India and Ghana. Let's take you to the residence of the High Commissioner here in Ghana.
Our relationship is backed by robust historical, cultural, and political ties. Trade and investment relations between India and Africa have a long history, dating back to the pre-colonial era, and has since increased significantly. Today, India and Africa continental economies are nearly of the same size. Today, as we celebrate Republic Day, we are not only commemorating the foundations of our democracy, but also reaffirming the strong and enduring partnership between Ghana and India. Our bilateral ties are historic and deep-rooted. Our first Prime Minister Pandit Nehru and Ghanaian President Nkrumah shared a special bond of friendship. And in fact, with most of the Ghanaians also, whenever I interact, we discuss, we realize how deep these bonds are at the people-to-people level. Happy to inform that our largest ever developmental partnership in Ghana, the Tema-Amkadan railway line, with financing of around 450 million US dollars by the Indian Exim Bank, was commissioned by Honorable President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in November 2024. It has the potential to transform the Ghanaian transportation landscape. India's flagship high-tech program and education scholarship have a good uptake here in the country. In fact, I can share with you this probably the highest statistics that we have in Ghana for the entire sub-Saharan Africa. In Ghana, we have over 4,000 beneficiaries of the high-tech program. Likewise, higher education scholarships are always in huge demand. We are among the leading trade partners with bilateral trade of around 3 billion US dollars. Ghana remains the preferred gateway for Indian investors who want to invest in the sub-region. During the last 2 decades, over 900 projects have been done by the Indian investors in this country.
Our relationship has led to fruitful initiatives and high-level visits. I hope that future anniversaries will bring closer collaboration between our two countries and further strengthen our existing cordial relations for the mutual benefits of our people. India is among the top trading partners of Ghana and is the largest destination for Ghanaian exports. Ghana has a positive trade balance with India, mainly due to the huge imports of gold by India, which accounts for nearly 80% of total imports from Ghana. Ghana's main export to India are gold, cocoa, cashew nuts, and timber products. India's major export to Ghana include pharmaceuticals, agricultural machinery, transport vehicles, electrical equipment, plastics, iron and steel, and many others. The current state of our relations is very promising, and we have enjoyed extensive cooperation in various fields, including human resource development, capacity building, education, small and medium-scale industries, agriculture, and information and communication technology.
All too soon. This is where we draw the curtain on today's production. It is always a pleasure to have you as our guest. The coming days are going to be very busy now that we have the Minister for Foreign Affairs officially sworn in, and we are very much situated to bring you all that will be happening from the Foreign Affairs Ministry, and of course when it comes to exchanges between Ghana and its development partners. So we look forward to bringing you all that will be happening. It is always good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of our programs.